Hello everybody. I think it's Sunday. I think it's the 21st, if I'm right. Yes, it is. Okay. This is going to be, should be the final part if I don't get burned out. I'm going to try to finish everything today. Final part of this 7-cup turner build for epoxy resin. You can see I got all my switches in and everything. And I'm going to put the side caps on. And I will go over again how to do the magnets inside the PVC. Last time, on the last video, if you noticed, my PVC I bought from a building supply place. I guess it was at the bottom of the stack and it was crushed. It was out of round and it would not work. So a few days ago, I went and bought another stick from a local hardware store and it seems to be fine. I just did a light sand with, I don't know, whatever this is, 100 grit. Get these dowel rods smooth, and they slide right on. No problem, it's nice, fits good. So, when I get back to that, I'm going to go ahead and cap off. Smoking today. I'm going to cap off what I did. I shortened these from my first version. I had these were like a foot sticking out a foot. It takes up too much room. You don't need it unless there's a cup turner. So I'm moving my magnet halfway inside the PVC so I can shorten these. And it also, if someone purchases one, it makes the dimensions smaller. So it's a smaller package so I can get the freight cost down. Okay? That makes a big difference in the cost. And I'm using a lighter wood, of course, I already said that. I was using yellow pine, which is heavy. And I shortened it a little bit, so the size is smaller and it's lighter. So the freight should be cheaper. When I'm all done, I'm going to weigh it and see approximately what it's going to cost. And then I'm going to build a single. I don't think I'm going to build a single with this one yet. I may wait, and I may use this one myself because I already have a single. But anyway, I just did a freehand mark on this. So I did my last one. I just like to freehand it. I don't know if you can see that in my line. Yeah, you can barely see it. But I just did a freehand how I like it, how I want it, just whatever. What I'll do is just cut this one and repeat it. And I measured it to stick out flush with this right here. So it'll angle down, be out of the way of putting a cut. So, I need my little jigsaw. And every other tool is on top of it. Use the scroll saw. I call it the jigsaw. That's what I call it. I mean, really, you don't have to do that. I mean, I always try to be a little fancy. You could just put a cap on the end of this like that, and then just run a board out like this, and it doesn't matter. You can make it however you want. You could put a flat piece of metal screwed to that. And of course, I want it to be. Did I mark it? Turn. Okay. Pencil mark's not dark enough. Yeah, I can see it. light's going out, so sorry about the flickering. Maybe I can open the door and give it some more light. That'll help a little bit. Like I said, my light, I don't know what happened. I had a breaker trip, and it's the LED, so it's about gone out now. Okay, here's what we have. Have to be fancy. I'll and I have an electric sander, but it's not really that necessary. Knock the edges off of it. Let's see. Measuring tape. I should have cut 2 of these at the same time. Let me cut this board real quick. I need another bench in here, I just don't have the room. So, I'll use what I have. So I just traced it so the other side will be the same. That's that. The edges. I went from pine to cedar, which I like it. It's at least 9/16, a little over a ½ inch thick. And I leave it natural. I like the cedar. Actually, they're fence squared in fence pickets, but they were really nice, and they were, I think, a little bit cheaper, about the same as pine, but I did it for the weight reasons. This thing is way lighter than the pine. This will go on this end. Got to pre-drill any holes that you're doing this, because it will split it. Pine will do the same thing, but the cedar is is even worse about it. Okay, this one was on this side. So I'll just pre-drill some holes. Inch and 1/4 wood screws, what I use on the whole thing. I was going to use my nail gun. I'm just using all screws on it. That way, if it needs to be taken apart for any reason, I can easily take it apart. I've seen people leave the tops open. I think it just looks tacky. I like to cover it all up. I've seen people use plywood, particle board type of plywood. It's cheap, and when they ship it, when the people get it, it gets bumped and stuff, and it's all busted. The stuff just can't withstand any kind of rough shipment. All right, we get the other side on, and then I'm gonna go get back to the magnets. And that looks really nice. See the back of it? My motors. Some people put the motors on here different and they stick out, which I don't like that. They get warm, but they don't get that hot to where you have any issues. I've had mine, first one I built, I've had it for about 6 months. No, about 5 months. And I have not had any issues with it at all. This wood's a little bit bowed. You get one down in the bottom first. You don't have to get that, just barely snug it in there. Just make it flush. You don't want to try to drive it in there too hard, it'll split. Okay. That's one nice looking cup turner. Now that's nice. That's not junk. I build my stuff good. It costs more, but there you go. That's nice, isn't it? I'm proud of that. This one turned out better than my first because actually it's lighter. I shortened it some. I had too much gap between here. There's still plenty of gap. And I knocked off about 1 foot on the length, so which is good for shipping. And probably knock off 7 pounds, 8 pounds off the weight using this type of wood. I don't know until I weigh it. Okay, now we're going to get back to the... I started on it, like I said, and my PVC wouldn't work. Oh boy. And this was my sample piece that I was using. Okay, yeah. I need to measure. I use... Oh, that bit's on there. There is a tool. It looks like this to get that bevel for the screw so it doesn't stick up. I don't really like this. It doesn't work very well. I'm going to use an oversized drill bit. That's how I got that one. But I'm going to do it on the drill press. If not, I mean, you have to be careful because once you get down low, you only go so far. It'll try to suck it in there, and then you have a big hole like that. That's what happened to that. That's why this never got used. But I'm not using this. If you get one that's made better than this one, this is old and it's wore out and it's dull, so I don't. It would probably work. I don't know. I may try it. I already got that bit set up. So I just used like a 1/2 inch bit. But I had to figure out where I need to drill that hole. Which I think I had showed you before. This is called a shaft collar. It's just a piece of metal. It's a black dioxide or I forgot what it's called. I had the bag over here. This is a 1/2 inch. They go by the inside diameter, but the outside is a 1/2 inch bigger. So the outside is 1 inch. This is where I got them. Okay. I'm not sponsored by anybody or Amazon or anybody. I'm telling y'all to help y'all so you can find this stuff. It took me forever to find something like this to work. I actually found it in a hardware store, but I buy them here because they're like 5 times cheaper. I think I got a bag of 10 of these for, I don't know, whatever it was, 14 bucks. So this is going to go inside. It's got a set screw. I'm taking that out. I've already went over that, but I'm going to do it again because this is the critical part, so people don't know how to get this part done. Being magnetized, that is like great. And you have a spinner. Find my screws. I went and bought these screws. They're 1/4 inch, regular thread. You could take your thing with you. Take your shaft collar with you. But this is the screw. Okay, that I'm going to put in there. And that way it sits down in there and it still is snug. So I'm going to take out the set screw. Figure out which. I didn't clean up, now I don't know where nothing is. There it is. Okay. I'm going to take that out. This will screw in there, okay? The threads are the same. So what I did, I had a piece that I used. I made, wherever it is. I don't know what I did with it. Well, that's what happens when you clean up. You can't find anything. Oh my gosh. Where'd you go? Oh, maybe I pulled the magnet off of it. I don't know. I think I pulled the magnet off of it. So I'm going to attach a magnet to here just to show you how magnets. In my comments, I did, if you look at my comments from other people, I did drop some links. This is the magnets. I got them from Amazon. They work really good. Have not had any issues. They don't slip. But they're very strong. Like that, they have a hole in them. That's the magnetized side view. They come with these screws. I thought about changing my screw, but I'm gonna have to change because I had a couple of magnets, they got loose, but I was able to tighten them back up. If so, you can just get a longer screw. This one is too big to go through here. Well, maybe it ain't. I don't know. It doesn't want to go in there. But these screws that come with it are kind of short, so you can't snug them super tight. See, so you need to get longer ones. I mean, they'll work, but if you start having issues with it coming loose, then you go ahead and get some longer ones, but the same size, because you don't want them poking up. So the head can't be too big on it. This is just a tool to help you put that shaft collar inside the PVC. That's all this is. This will come off of here. I'm done. Okay. Now, let's stick that on there. It's that thing. I mean, it's stout. These magnets. And the shaft collar, I just kept searching until I figured out something that worked that would stay in there tight. So, basically, this lets me feed that in there and line up the hole of the threads to get that inside there to anchor this inside. The first time I had the shaft collar on the end. See that hole that's there? But I actually made it too big. But I had that on the end like that. It's a lot easier to get in there. But when you put them on the end, you have to make this come way out here. And it's just, I wanted to size it down for shipping. Okay? So that's why I decided to move it in about halfway. So I've already made, after I went and got my new piece of Schedule 40 that wasn't flattened or like out of round, and I did have to sand these a little bit, but it's great now. The other piece is useless because I realized it was a little bit out of round. It could have been at the bottom of the stack on the 18-wheeler when it was shipped, whatever. And best thing to do when you get your 1-inch dowel rod, you can lightly sand it, get it good and smooth. Take it with you when you go to buy your PVC to make sure you don't get one that's like out of round or something. That you'll just be wasting your money like I did on mine. Unless I can use it for something else. Okay, this measurement here was actually perfect. So I'm going to duplicate that. That was my sample one I did last week. And if I can find my pencil, and to the center, it's like 6 3/4 to the center. So I'm going to measure 6 3/4. This tape's too big for what I'm doing. Really, it was a little bit less than 6 3/4. I'll go ahead and put it there. I think it'll be fine because I did have room. There was a little gap here, so it shouldn't make a difference. So, I guess I can try to show y'all what I'm doing on the drill press here. You don't have to have a drill press, but I do like it because it tries to suck your drill bit through there. That's why you're better off to use that other tool. Can you see it? Okay. There we go. So, I gotta clean this place. So what I did, I just got a big oversized bit. I mean, it's a good 1/2 inch. You don't want to go all the way through, of course. And if you want to clamp it, you can. I'm not. Plastic's in my way. I just want it enough beveled so that I can, the screw isn't sticking up. It really wouldn't hurt if the screw is sticking up. The foam's going to probably cover it up anyway. Okay, I'm just going to do one and get this adjusted back. These things don't stay very well. So this is what I have, okay? And that's about right. That screw, the size. So I'm going to finish drilling that with a bit, 1/4 inch bit this size. Right in the middle, because I didn't want to keep going, or it would go all the way through, and then it's no good. So, where's my 1/4 inch? I don't know if this is 1/4. That's a little bit, but I can waller it a little bit to make it work. Seems like I can't ever find drill bits for some reason. I need to just buy a new set. Oh wait, there's one that's a little, I think that's a little bigger, but yes, perfect. That's closer to the size that I need. That's great. If I don't put these up here, I will lose them. I love those things. I want to get some more of those strips for your stuff. It's really handy. Need several of them. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to finish drilling the hole like this. Alright, now that's what you have right there. It's just to make it look neat. See, that'll go in there. It's almost not big enough for the bit, but it'll work. So I'm going to, this tool that I made, where the same rod that's on there, the 1 inch dowel rod, I screwed a magnet on the end of it. Okay, it's a little out, it's not in the center, but it doesn't matter, it's just a tool. So I'll stick that on there. Okay, from either way, there's the screw hole. I'll go in and line it up. Oh, pass it up. Okay, lined up. Okay. Screw that in. I don't like to tighten this for until it works well, doesn't it? Okay, I like to put it on here. See, I think it was this way. Yes, okay, perfect. I still got a tiny gap. You don't want it against it. I mean, you want to make sure. I like it to go on there first, because if I tighten this and that collar gets a little crooked, it may not magnetize as well. So I like to have it magnetized on that rod, and then I just snug it down. And that's it. Did it get crooked on me? Yeah, it turned, it moved a little. I'm going to have to back it off just a hair. It still turned a little bit because I snugged it too much. that? That one really holds good. Well, you know, I wasn't going to tell everybody my secret, but you know what? Whatever. Maybe in a year, YouTube will start paying me something. I don't know. We'll see. So there you go. That's the trick. I mean, I'm sure there's other ways. I didn't try to copy anybody. I came up with this, my own idea of how to do it. And I went with wood because it's easier to put this on. Metal is way more expensive. And why do you need metal? It's only, what, 10 inches long? You don't need that. It's easier to put the magnet on. Because if I'd bought metal, then I'd have to do some welding to weld on, get a magnet on there. Or somehow mount the magnet in here. Which that's probably possible if you can find a magnet that has a set screw. Like this collar. But there you go. I'm all done with this. But there's something that y'all need to know how to do. I tried putting this on there. Hold on a minute. Okay. This is what you buy. I buy these it's a pack that comes with like, I think 4 of the big ones and like 6 of the smaller size. Okay. On Amazon, they come in a compressed, and you need to let them open up for 24 hours so they'll expand because they're all deformed and everything. But you see, I went with it. The outside diameter of this 1 inch is 1 1/4. It's really large. So, I don't know, no way. I tried. I mean, I guess you could fight it. And somehow it starts tearing it and stuff to get it on there. And I'm thinking, well, what am I going to do? I didn't think about that when I went with the larger pipe. You see there? I modified these. And it's not that hard. And they fit great. They fit good and snug too. They fit really good. A lot better than when you put this on a 3/4. But they come made for 3/4. You cannot find them. I haven't seen them anywhere that'll fit over a 1 1/4 pipe. So there you go. But let me get to that. You see, mine are. That's the size that they come. This is how I made them. Hey, you got to rig it. It's cheesy, but hey, it works for me. I'm gonna go ahead and. Let me see if I have one that hadn't been made, and I'll make one for you. You'll have to come up with your own invention, your own idea. This is just a little piece of aluminum pipe. You figure out how to find one, buy something and cut it, whatever you have to do. This thing never wants to stay up. Anyway, I'll stand back, okay? I'm going to heat this up. Okay, this was the net thing for a swimming pool, clean your pool out. Well, it was old and raggedy, and I think it was bent or something, so I just cut a piece of it with a hacksaw, and I'll heat it up, and I'll enlarge the hole. But you got to be careful. You got to go in straight, because I have a couple of them that it wasn't straight in there. And the cup goes up and down just a little bit, but not enough to affect anything. So whatever, I don't really care. So let me get my torch, and I'm going to move. Maybe I can do it standing up right there. It's kind of chilly out here. My nose is running. Okay, I'm going to do one of these for you. Okay, y'all can see me good. I better get me a glove to hold that pipe. It gets hot, but not on. It doesn't really get hot on the end. But I advise using a glove. If you use a glove, then you won't burn yourself. Okay. Okay, get the torch going. probably wouldn't hurt. It's going to file that where it's kind of sharp, but it worked for me last time. So that, I think this is the side I used. I'm going to heat that up really good. I don't think, I didn't have to use a glove. It doesn't get that hot. It's only hot on the end. The glove is just getting in my way. This is what you got to deal with when you want heavy duty, the larger pipe, which is on my, if you ever use one like this, if you ever decide you want one, it's just great. 3/4 is okay, but this is like great, the best. And I don't know of anyone that has one with a 1 1/4 diameter. Hey babe, did you talk to Josh? Yeah. It's okay, I'm live, but whatever, I'm almost done. Let me, I'll pause it. Hold on, people. Excuse me for a minute. Alright, I'm back. Get this good and hot.
We're gonna go see him.
Alright. Don't be gone half the night, please. Alright. That thing is hot. I'm gonna get right in the middle. And I kind of just turn it and try. I like to go about halfway and then go in from here. That way I'm not crooked. The last time I went straight through and they were getting crooked. And it'll meet up at the other side. There we go. Careful, it's hot. So, still warm. So, there you go. That's how you make those. They work just fine. They look pretty straight. So I go halfway in one side and then half in the other, that way, because it's easy to get crooked. And like I said, I have a couple that they'll go up and down just a little, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect my cup making. So, anyway, I need to do that anyway. I think I'm short of these. Well, there you go. 7 cup turner. And I actually finished it. Oh my gosh. Now I need to take it inside and start making some more cups. And I'm not trying to get into the manufacturing business of making these. I got to get the cost down somehow, because all these heavier pipes and everything, stuff gets expensive. And also I have to buy these, like I've seen that when I was on the inside. But these are larger. This is actually a plug, a 1 1/4 plug. Because what I do is, I don't really glue mine on, but I got the 1 1/4 inch plug. You see that? And it's flat like that. Has that edge, which I like. You don't have to do this. You could just glue your stuff on and leave this like this. But what I do is I put silicone. It fits loose. You can't, because it's not sized for that. This is sized to go inside of a 1 1/4 inch pipe. But you can't find the right plug to go over it that has this lip. So my last ones, I just put silicone, RTV silicone, whatever kind of silicone you want. Bathroom silicone, don't matter. Just to hold it on there. And that way, and this will slip over that. This will slip over. You got to work it on there. And so when I do that because when I pull it out of my cup, it keeps the foam from moving. The foam will stay on there, okay? So anyway, here we go. I'll turn it on. Find the cord. Make sure it still works. Here we go. They're all spinning. And also, when you put the top and you enclose it completely, it's quieter. It's not as, the motors, you don't hear them as much, which I like that. And this worked out good how I made these. If you saw that on the other part, I cut the pipe. And it works kind of like a bearing. Because I wasn't going to pay for bearings. They're very expensive. It has a 1-inch diameter. You're talking $15 for one bearing. Or maybe more, I don't remember. I found some 3/4 inch ones and they weren't cheap, but I didn't even end up using because I was going to downsize to 3/4. But since I already made my first one, it doesn't make sense because then nothing's going to match. So just remember that when you buy a turner, everything has to match. And I am going to build another single most likely. That's only if somebody wants to buy one like this, then I'll build a single. It's the same process. It's just quicker and easier. Of course, it's only one unit, one motor. All right, everybody. Hope this video helped everybody. And go build a turner. And please like and subscribe.